Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's as old as humanity itself, a tapestry woven with stories that explain the unexplainable, inspire awe, and sometimes just plain entertain. We're talking about mythology. Have you ever wondered what mythology truly is, beyond just a collection of ancient tales? Well, you're in the right place. In this video, we're going to explore the core essence of mythology, why it's so incredibly important across cultures, and how these powerful narratives still shape our world today. So, get ready to journey through epic sagas, encounter legendary heroes, and discover the deep wisdom hidden within these timeless stories. First off, let's nail down a definition. What is mythology? At its heart, mythology is a body of stories belonging to a particular cultural tradition or religion, often involving supernatural beings, gods, goddesses, heroes, and fantastic creatures. These aren't just fairy tales. They're foundational narratives that societies use to explain the universe, their origins, human nature, and even their moral codes. Think of them as the earliest forms of science, philosophy, and history, all rolled into one captivating package. They attempt to answer those big, fundamental questions like, where did we come from? Why is the sky blue? What happens after we die? And what does it mean to live a good life? Now, you might be thinking, but aren't myths just false stories? And that's a common misconception. While modern science has provided different explanations for many natural phenomena, the truth in mythology isn't about literal, factual accuracy. Instead, it's about a deeper, symbolic truth. Myths convey profound insights into the human condition, our fears, our hopes, and our universal struggles. They offer frameworks for understanding existence, for navigating life's challenges, and for finding meaning in a complex world. The stories might feature gods with superpowers or monsters, but the lessons they teach often resonate with our everyday experiences. They provide comfort, explain suffering, and offer guidance on ethical behavior. So, why do humans tell myths? What purpose do they serve? There are several key functions. Firstly, as we touched on, they provide explanations for natural phenomena and the creation of the world. Before scientific instruments, people looked to stories to make sense of earthquakes, sunsets, and the changing seasons. The Greek myth of Persephone and Hades, for instance, explains the changing of the seasons, her return bringing spring, her absence bringing winter. Secondly, myths often establish and reinforce social norms and values. They teach us right from wrong, what is considered heroic and what is deemed treacherous. Think about stories of justice, courage, loyalty, and betrayal. These narratives provide models for behavior and warn against destructive actions, helping to maintain social cohesion and order within a community. Thirdly, myths validate social structures, rituals, and institutions. They can explain why a certain king rules, why a particular temple was built, or why a specific ceremony is performed. They give a divine or ancestral legitimacy to human systems, binding communities together through shared belief and practice. Fourthly, and perhaps most importantly, myths address profound psychological and spiritual needs. They help individuals cope with the unknown, confront existential anxieties, and find a sense of purpose. They provide a narrative framework for understanding life's biggest transitions: birth, adolescence, marriage, death, offering comfort and meaning during these significant moments. They speak to our inner world, our dreams, and our subconscious desires, helping us to process complex emotions and experiences. Let's look at some diverse examples to truly grasp the breadth and depth of mythology. When we talk about Greek mythology, images of Zeus on Mount Olympus, brave Odysseus, or the labyrinth-dwelling Minotaur immediately spring to mind. These stories are rich with gods, heroes, and monsters, exploring themes of fate, free will, human hubris, and divine intervention. They gave the Greeks a pantheon of relatable deities with human-like flaws and virtues, providing a vibrant cultural and spiritual landscape. Then there's Norse mythology, with its dramatic tales of Odin, Thor, Loki, and the mighty Aesir and Vanir gods. These myths paint a picture of a harsh yet heroic world, where gods and giants clash, and the ultimate destiny is Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods. They celebrate courage, honor, and loyalty in the face of inevitable destruction, reflecting the challenging environment in which the Vikings lived. Move further east, and we find the intricate and philosophical Hindu mythology, featuring deities like Vishnu, Shiva, and Brahma. These stories are not just narratives, but often allegories for complex spiritual concepts, exploring cycles of creation and destruction, duty, dharma, and liberation, moksha. The Ramayana and Mahabharata are epic poems that still profoundly influence Indian culture and spirituality today. And let's not forget indigenous mythologies from around the world. Native American myths, for example, often emphasize a deep connection to nature, the sacredness of the land, and the interconnectedness of all living things. They feature tricksters like Coyote or Raven, creation stories that involve animal spirits, and powerful oral traditions that convey deep ecological wisdom and moral teachings. These myths foster a strong sense of identity and place within the natural world. What's fascinating is how these mythological themes and archetypes recur across vastly different cultures. We see creation stories, flood myths, heroic journeys, and tales of transformation appearing in various forms across continents. This universality suggests that despite our differences, humanity shares fundamental concerns, questions, and aspirations. The hero's journey, a pattern identified by mythologist Joseph Campbell, shows how characters from ancient Sumerian epics to modern Hollywood blockbusters follow a similar narrative arc of leaving the known world, facing trials, and returning transformed. This speaks to a shared human experience of challenge, growth, and discovery. So how does mythology impact us today in our modern, seemingly rational world? Its influence is everywhere, often subtly. Our language is full of mythological allusions. Achilles' heel, Midas' touch, Herculean task, narcissistic. Our literature, art, and music constantly draw from these ancient wellsprings, giving new life to old narratives. Filmmakers continue to adapt mythological tales or create new ones that follow ancient patterns, knowing that these stories tap into something deep within our collective consciousness. Even our understanding of psychology, particularly through the work of Carl Jung, uses mythological archetypes to explain universal patterns of human behavior and experience. Mythology isn't just a relic of the past, it's a living tradition. It continues to inspire, to teach, and to provide meaning. By studying myths, we gain a deeper understanding not only of ancient cultures, but also of ourselves and the fundamental questions that continue to shape the human experience. It reminds us that stories are powerful, that they connect us, and that they help us make sense of our world. So, the next time you hear a myth, don't just dismiss it as fiction. Look deeper. What is it trying to tell us? What wisdom does it hold? What universal truth does it reveal about what it means to be human?